Everyone, welcome back to SOC Leadership, and this is going to be Twitter Lessons 201. Now, I wanted to use another account to show you some other things, just so you don't get bombarded by my brand here. But let's review a little bit about Twitter. So when you open it up, remember your home button is your savior. When you hit home, it's going to take you here. You're going to see your stuff here in the corner, your tweets, your following, and who's following you, your trends for you, your all the people you're following and their tweets coming up, and then the suggestion box here of who to follow. That takes you home. If you want to get to your account, click on your name. So in here, Silver Dime Hunter, we'll click here, and then that takes you to your account. And basically, your handle at Silver Dime Hunt, what you want to say about yourself. Now look here, this is interesting. I don't want to point this out. I didn't point this out last time. He's got some hashtags in his little description. And notice how you can click on those hashtags. So when you see that, that'll take you to that community. He likes the sub for sub community. He likes the YouTube community. So if I click the YouTube community, it's like every other hashtag I taught you, it takes you to YouTube. And then you can see everybody who's hashtagging YouTube right now. And it'll even let you, do you want to follow YouTube? But remember, go back to home. That'll take you out of there. And you're back. So we'll go back to the home page here. Okay. Remember, it's really important to have this filled out here. This description under Silver Dime Hunter. Under his has who he is. I'm a serious young YouTuber. I need 7,000 scouts. He tells you who he is, what he wants, where he's at, his internet link. So he obviously wants us to look at his YouTube channel. So he keeps his internet link there. When he joined, probably not the correct birthday, and any kind of photos he's posted. So that's important because if you want to be searchable on Twitter, you got to have this filled out. It's like having tags on your page, and this is like a web page per se. So you want to have it done. Okay, we know it. I think I described this last time. We know what this is. Number of tweets that he's actually tweeted. So 9,600 tweets is a lot. He's following 2,525 people. Has 2,300 followers. He has liked over 1,500 tweets, and he's on lists. Now, lists is something I didn't explain last time, and what that is you can create a list, right? And the way you create a list is, see, he's got Denver list, Seattle list, San Diego tweeters, Yelpers, and he's got all these members. He's put all these other Twitter people in these lists. So if we look at his Denver list, you can see that he's got 1,514 members. Now, who are they? And these are all these random people that he put in these lists. And this, from my understanding, was automated. But and I can explain that in the next series of Twitter. But so if you want to create a list, so you only want to see what people in a certain category are tweeting, you can create a new list. So you go over here, you hit create new list, and let's call it Twitter 201. And we can call it, people who like to learn to tweet. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but look over here. You can have a public list, so anybody can follow your list, or private, only for you. And let's make it private. Now we can save that list. Okay. Now here we are. We're at Twitter 201, the list we just created. We have no members. So let's add some members. So we can go, just type in Twitter. Okay, here's Twitter Moments. So if we click here to Twitter Moments, we can add or remove to lists. So you click over here by the follow. So if you want to follow them, that's what you want to do. Or you don't have to follow them to see their stream in your list, but it's always good if you really are interested, you just follow them. And then you click over here to these three dots, and you can do a lot with these three dots. I never explained the three dots, but you can tweet to them. Where actually, when you send the tweet out, they're going to see it. You can add them to a list. You can mute them so you never want to see them again. but you still want to follow them. You can block them, where basically neither of you see each other ever again. That's kind of important if you get a hostile Twitterer out there or something. You can report them to Twitter, which means that Twitter will take a look and see what they're doing and make sure it's on the up and up. Then you can do other things like turn off retweets, turn off mobile notifications, etc. And I'll talk about these later. It's a little more advanced. But so what we can do is we add them to a list. And you can see down here we made Twitter 201 with a lock. A lock means it's a private list. So we're going to add them to that list. And they're going to see that you added them to a list, which is kind of cool because if you want them to follow you, then you're kind of giving them a signal. Hey, I like you. I'm following you. Maybe you can follow me back. Create. Oh, messed up there. Okay, so I basically, yeah, that's right. So add remove from lists. All you have to do is click that, and now they're added. That's the one thing that Twitter does not make clear. Once you click this box, they're now in that list. So I can also add them to a biotech. And now they're in the list. Now you don't have to do anything else. You just X out. Instead of, I accidentally hit create a list. But you just hit that, boom, done. You're in their list. Now you go back to home. Remember, going home is your savior. You go to yourself. Look at your lists. There's Twitter 201. Let's take a look. We had one member in there, and now there's all their tweets. Only them. Everything they've retweeted. See, they're retweeting. Twitter Mums is retweeting this. And they're tweeting something else about this basketball guy. They're retweeting this. So you're only following that one account. And that's a great way. This is a great way to cut through the noise of Twitter, because Twitter can be just overwhelming. And how do I even get a handle on this? There's so many people on it. Millions and millions of tweets a day. This is a way to really narrow down who and what you want to follow. And this is another cool thing too. I failed to point out, if you just kind of put your cursor over here at the icon, their icon, it brings up that account, and you can kind of get a quick look. Hey, are you following them? Yes, I'm following them. I want to follow them. Yeah, I want to unfollow them. Whatever. And you can see all that. One point note of interest: this little blue icon here with the check mark. That's for larger accounts that are quote unquote verified by Twitter. And you can apply to get that on your account, but it's hard to do. It's usually for like big movie stars, the president, whoever that has a million followers. They want to make sure it's the real verified person, it's the real account. So, because a lot of people like to go on Twitter and make up fake accounts, saying that they're the president. So this blue check mark kind of verifies that they are who they say they are. So this is an account that I guess Twitter created. It's Twitter Moments, so that's just something to learn, to think about. Okay, so that should cover everything. We go back home, we'll go back to the account, and we see our lists, and then there's the moments I talked about. You can actually create your own moments, and we'll get into that in the next lesson. It's a little bit involved as well. And so an overall review here, we talked about tweets, following, followers, likes, lists, moments, how it's important to have all this filled out the best you can if you want to be found. If you want to edit your pictures, you can. You just click over here to edit profile, and you can always just pull in a new picture here, change your header photo, upload photo, etc. Change your profile photo. It's really pretty self-explanatory and easy. This is interesting right here. A little bit of data for your tweets. So my tweet activity, your tweets are in 6,600 impressions over the last week. It tells you by day. The impressions means that it went in somebody's feed and they scrolled down, and so it's kind of like if we go home here, and now I'm seeing this. I don't do anything with it. I see GameK tweet. I don't do anything, but I just keep going down my list. These are all impressions. So now each one of these tweets is getting an impression right now because I'm just doing this. And especially if I click in it, then it'll get another impression. So go over here. That's kind of where this account has been showing up in here. It got a lot of impressions on Thursday for some reason. It's been a tweet that went out or something. And you can view your top tweets, which is really an interesting thing. And it'll tell you by day, and which tweets, and looks like his most popular video, he had a lot of impressions, a lot of engagements, great engagement rate. Now you see this promote here. that's when you start paying for Twitter. And I'll get into that in the next one too. If you really want to use Twitter for some real targeted marketing, you can promote it, and it'll cost you. And that's when you see. I can show you what that means. But like, you can see all the engagement rates, retweets, likes, all this stuff. It's really good data to see. Have you been doing? How have you been managing your Twitter account? Is it really getting out there? You can always export this data to an Excel sheet. Actually, I think it emails it to you when you click that, which is kind of cool, neat thing to see, and we can take a look at that. And you can also see, go to ads. You can create ads on Twitter. See, now it wants to export all my data into an Excel sheet, which is kind of cool. That's the neat thing about Twitter. All right, so click here, back to the icon. I'm back here. That was the impressions one. So that's where you can really kind of get a feel of what tweets are working for you, what are not. I sometimes like this who to follow thing. I don't know. It's good, but sometimes I really use Twitter a certain way to achieve a certain, follow certain people and achieve a certain following. And it's kind of cool. You can see the trends again of the hashtags that we talked about. See, and here's my account here. And there we are. I really like here's another trick, and I want to show this to you guys, which is really interesting. I don't follow everybody who follows me. And you can see that I'm following them, and I have very specific reasons. I'm following them, fellow YouTubers, of course I'm going to do that. I didn't follow them. And then you'll see these different accounts. Like, I want to show you this very particular, because it's interesting when you do this, what happens. I think this guy. Okay, whenever I see an account that follows me all of a sudden out of the blue, this guy followed me out of the blue, and he's got 30,000 followers, and he's following 21,000 people, and that ratio is like that, where he has more followers than he's following, I will follow him back. And when I do that, I've noticed that I get at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 more followers just by following him. That's it. And that's how I kind of build a base. If you ever see anything above 10,000, I highly recommend you just follow. If you want to build a following on Twitter and you don't know how, it's a great way to start. Or you can just go back home here and just search for big ones. Like, let's search for, I don't know, who's out there? Beyonce, right? Where's Beyonce? There's Beyonce. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's Beyonce. She's got 15.2 million followers. Boom. Now I'm following her. I guarantee you, tomorrow I'm going to have about 10 more followers just because I did that. Because there's millions of people out there trolling around, and sometimes there's these things called bots, which I'll get into later too, that'll troll around and follow you as well. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. In Twitter 301, my next video, I'm going to talk about how you can automate Twitter more. I know I mentioned that in my first video, but I'm going to talk about how you can automate Twitter more in your favor, so you don't have to sit here and, okay, what I'm going to tweet about today and all that. There's different other websites you can use that will automatically connect to your account and tweet for you. And I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm going to leave you with this. This is where's my latest automated tweet? Right here. This automated for me this morning. I didn't do anything. It put the hashtags I wanted in there, and it did some interesting article. Here's another one. Automated tweet. Didn't do anything. Those are great. And also, here's a pinned tweet, and I'll teach you guys how to do that too. Actually, do I have a pinned tweet? No. I'll show you. Here's a pinned tweet over here. Before I let you go, there's a pinned tweet right here. And this is a tweet that that you've tweeted, but you want at the top of your tweets so everybody can see it and comment and note. Yeah, there's still so much to teach you, but I don't want to bore you right now or get you lost. So I hope you learned something, and we will get into more details of Twitter next time and really get you up to speed. Thanks a lot for watching, and sub, like, and follow, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.